initiatives are again bringing some kind of social capital, some kind of agents, some kind of institutions in the village who are there to listen to the women's problem and educate them about the laws and help them enhance their women land right. There is another such example comes from West Bengal, where Landesa, a international NGO, in partnership with West Bengal State Rural Livelihood Mission, is trying to train SSG leaders around land literacy and also how to use mobile platforms and tabs to not only check the land records but also lodge applications to improve the land records when they are wrong or to add women land right to that. So these three kind of examples, as well as another one is from Andhra Pradesh, where as part of a World Bank program called IKP Bhumi, every villages the paralegals map the disputes around land, including the disputes around inheritance and women, and try to address that through local community level interaction, also taken to court. To our surprise, almost 70% of the disputes could be resolved through discussions, negotiations, so making things improved for women. So these four examples provide some kind of insights how at different scale women land right can be improved through a right-based approach through small innovations at the institution level. Coming back to the economic freedom-based approach, we see an example from Kerala where this Kudumbasri project tried to address the fallow lands that was getting increasingly expanding of the private agricultural land as people used to migrate, where some people were not able to have access to land. So Kudumbasri encouraged women groups to come in as a group and collectively lease out these lands from the landowner and cultivate agriculture and horticulture crops. So here Kudumbasri facilitated them to negotiate with the landowners, provide them entitlement over this informal leases, and also contribute to market. So through that we found that not only the fallow lands reduced, but women's access to land increased. So this is something is remarkable, because when you look at women farmer, we call it women farmer, but there are indeed three kind of farmers, women farmers. One is a women agriculture laborer who doesn't own any land. So they are in the lowest in the hierarchy and completely less dignity. Then there are some women farmers who don't own land, but they take land on lease or share cropping and do some kind of cultivation. So they have little bit of dignity, but they don't have any kind of rights or entitlement because their land ownership is not recorded. So they don't get access to PM Kisan, they don't get access to insurance or crop compensation in absence of any recording. And then there is a women farmer who own the land, who gets some benefit, whose name is in the land record. So Kudumbasri tried to target the middle section and tried to bring more women agricultural labor to the middle section, to the tenants, and tried to provide them right to entitlement, which was pretty successful, and then replicated by agencies like Pradhan, an NGO in Odisha, West Bengal and Jharkhand. So this is something which is also providing women enhanced access to farming, and this is I think in a way also influenced this Mahila Kisan Sashaktikarana program, MKSP, of the NRLM, though its implementation in other states have not much been successful because they could take up this collective farming by women in a proper way. Similarly, there is another scheme of economic empowerment where in Andhra Pradesh some land were purchased or women were given money to take land on lease. So again, enhancing access to land by women. So it doesn't mean that only when women own the land they become the farmer and dignified. Even if you facilitate some kind of access to land through leasing, other kind of thing, that also improves women's economic capacity and economic freedom. So because land right remains a mean, not the end. End is the livelihood. I think how we take it forward, that matters. And last but not the least in this context is the entrepreneurship approach, where private sector can play a role to improve women land right through use of technology. For example, if you look at the Digital India's Land Records Modernization Program, we have lot of land records, women name is there, but in absence of a gender column, we find that we don't know in which district, in which village, how many women own the land. So using technology, it is possible to segregate these names and allocate, know how many women own how much land in every village and every district. So that will not only help in better monitoring and better decision making, but also putting better resources to improve the situation. Similarly, in this India's forest right, individual forest right where tribals and forest dwelling households are given right over the forest land they are living on, there is a provision of joint titling. But we see that instead of adding women name, only it is given the male name. So with technology, when we have the male name and the village in linkage with other databases like National Food Security Mission databases, Aadhaar databases, voter right databases, where the family names are there, definitely the women name can be extracted and added. So imagine both the Digital Land Record Program and IFR can bring in at one stroke millions of women name into land record and improving the situation. And last but not the least, as per Hindu Succession Act, when a daughter is born, she becomes the co-partner in the father's property. So why not we link to this birth registry, which is also getting digital, with land record registry. So that will also help. As the day daughter is born, automatically SMS goes or email goes or API get connected to the land record database and women name get added, daughter's name get added. So that will also going to make daughter's life easier and also better access to economic freedom. So these are some options I think which has potential to be scaled up in different states, and in a way these are low hanging fruits which can quickly transform women land right. But having said that, I will also raise a word of caution. In all these cases I am talking about adding women name into land record. That is definitely a good step, a very good first step, but not the last step, because what remains is that how after the name comes in land record, how male or their family member society allow them to own the land and allow them to use it the way they decide. But that is something which is still a challenge, even if women having name in their name, but still they are unable to access control and make decision. So for that we have to have societal change, a campaign, a behavioral change communication which can improve that. Thank you very much.